Hello everyone, welcome to the winner. Sorry I haven't done these videos for a while. I'm kind of studying nursing or caring at the moment, so with all the tests and things I've had to deal with, and how do I gotta line this. That might do it. This one's very hard to do, it's just very pedantic. Okay, so, yeah. What was I saying? I can't even remember. Oh, maybe go like that. There we go. That's better. And I have to wait until, again, it comes forward. And then go all the way up and thank the big guy in the sky for electronic buoys. Okay. So yeah, sorry I haven't been doing these videos for a while. As I said, I'm just studying nursing and becoming a carer. I'm taking care of a parent that's got first stages of dementia and just a lot of volunteer work, so it's a bit of a balancing act trying to get these videos together and everything else. I took a little bit of a break, I guess, from it all. Anyway, my studies nearly come to a close, so I can spend a bit more time and finish off the walkthroughs that I was doing. Okay, so in here you have a lot of exposed roots, which again we showed as suffering or adverse, mainly endurance against adversity sort of thing. And the tree houses in symbolism often refer to positive individualism, like the growth of you as a person. So we've got a few environmental puzzles, we've got 3 audio clips, and we also have a few Easter eggs. Again, the common theme is spirituality, this being of can there be a blending between science and Eastern, this concept of an impersonal force more than a god, and to some degree an impersonal force, I guess, in Christianity or Allah, if you're Islam. Here we have if you have a look at the reflection, you got a person praying. Again, that spiritual connection. We're going to go over and play a audio clip now. And as I said, there's 3 audio clips in the Treehouse area.
God bade me behold the sea, and I saw the ships sinking and the planks floating. Then the planks too were submerged. And God said to me, "Those who voyage are not saved." And he said to me, "Those who, instead of voyaging, cast themselves into the sea, take a risk." And he said to me, "Those who voyage and take no risk shall perish." And he said to me, "In taking the risk, there is a part of salvation." And the wave came and lifted those beneath it and overran the shore. And he said to me, "The surface of the sea is a gleam that cannot be reached, and the bottom is a darkness impenetrable. And between the two are great fishes, which are to be feared." Nefari, circa 970. What?
Okay, so first of all, just to mention that a little wait before she says what. is it's kind of a teaser. It's a continuation onto a later audio clip, and we'll talk about that later when we get to that one. Again, you'll see the lotus flower here. Again, that Buddhist connection, symbolism. Now, that audio clip that we had is from the Fari, which is Islam. I'm pretty sure it's Islam. And it's an interesting, because it's taken out of context slightly, on the basis of imagine those that we need to voyage, we need to transfer the sea. Where we are is not safe. So imagine a tsunami, a massive tsunami is about to reach us. Now, Islam believes that there's an upcoming tsunami, if you want to put it that way. That whether we like it or not, there's this vengeful force that's going to come from God, and this tsunami is going to wipe out the land. So where we are is not in a safe position. So if we choose not to venture, if we choose not to do anything, then we will not survive. We will die. But if we get onto a bad ship, an unworthy ship, then we will also die. You'll the ship will submerge, and those those who have some sort of attachment to that ship will die also. So again, this vessel of ourselves, usually it's referring to ourselves in this situation. You'll want to make sure that you change the green platform to this side if you want to get to this audio clip. There are achievements to get all the audio clips. So if we make the most of our body, and if we become too overly attached to our selfish desires and our own body, then basically we will just go down with the ship. It won't handle the voyage. And those that risk by jumping into the ocean, certainly there's some sort of salvation, because a seaworthy vessel can come pick you up, something that's greater, but you have to detach yourself from this thing that's basically calamity in order to be rescued. You're not going to be rescued if you just attach yourself to this. And so it's freeing ourselves from selfishness, while at the same time not just standing there and doing nothing. Now, this is very contradictory to this one.
When we choose silence, we choose to give up the reasons not to love, which are the reasons for going to war, or continuing war, or separating, or being a victim, or being right. In a moment of silence, in a moment of no thought, no mind, we choose to give those up. This is what my teacher invited me to. Just choose silence. Don't even choose love. Choose silence, and love is apparent. If we choose love, we already have an idea of what love is. But if you choose silence, that is the end of ideas. You are willing to have no idea, to see what is present when there is no idea, past, present, future. No idea of love, no idea of truth, no idea of you, no idea of me. Love is apparent. Gangaji, 2009.
Okay, so this is a recent 2009. It's a recent Buddhist. She's kind of became a spiritual advisor, a teacher herself. She has quite a bit of a following, and her basically belief is to free oneself, and by being still, by not searching, just be content So if you really want to find out who you are, stop searching. And she believes that the... I'm just going to do this puzzle here. And we thank the big JB in the sky for autumn. I think is this autumn or spring? Autumn, I think. No, so maybe spring. It's got that vibrant colours, getting ready for autumn. And she believes that basically the answer is not to love, not to handle the emotion, but just accepting the emotion for the way it is. And so basically, to get that environmental puzzle, you have to search, have the orange board around that way. Just going to change this again to... You have to do a lot of changing of the boards if you're going to get all the environmental puzzles. Okay, so this is basically how we want it. If you wanted to solve the actual... this, you would move this board this way, so you can hit that button there and get into operating the laser. So that basically cuts off the laser. I'm just going to quickly move this one, and we'll have to move it back. Oh boy, is that right? Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of moving of boards. So basically this is a person starting fire. If you were to stand on that platform over there, you would see this, I guess, you can kind of see it the way it is at the moment anyway. So there's an environmental puzzle down here. I just got to get into the line. And there's another one, and we thank JB in the sky for fire. Okay, moving on, and I'm going to move this back because it's crucial that I do so to solve, how do I do this again? Solve another environmental puzzle. So yeah, so the Buddhists kind of believe that basically their goal in life is to be dead forever. That's nirvana. Non-existence is basically nirvana. And I guess whether Buddhists like it or not, they'll achieve that. That's what I find very, very funny. Like, regardless of whether you're a Buddhist or not, you will achieve that. Let's go. I think that's basically about it here. And so basically, to get to, I'll try not to make you sick. I've got to... Unfortunately, I can't move, so I can't take the shortcut to get underneath the platforms. I am lost. This is very much like Myst. Like, you know, the Treehouse area in Myst. It's very similar. So, I can see that. Okay, so we're just going to take the boat. And, I'm going to have to... That will do it. So, can go full belt. And again, looking at the calmness. So, basically, the Treehouse area is about, I guess, the war between that one can have in order to grow, become an individual. Whether there's a god or there's not. Whether you feel that there's an impersonal force guiding everything or there isn't, and that sense of being is crucial for that. But Ganji is saying, well, if you stop looking, you're going to be more happier. You're just going to be content, because regardless of whether you look or not, isn't going to change anything. So this is quite the opposite belief system than, let's say, Islam, which says, well, if you don't look, you are going to die because there is a disaster coming your way whether you like it or not. And the only way you can escape that is by getting on a worthy sea vessel. So you can understand that. Like, if you had knowledge that there is definitely a tsunami coming your way, then you have opportunity to do something, and that would help you out. And I guess you would feel obliged to warn others. Like, you wouldn't just go, oh yeah, should be right, mate, sort of thing. So, boy, we've done a lot. I am a little bit disappointed in the tree area, in the fact of, in comparison, and this is where I do understand the why everyone keeps saying, well, you know, it just seems haphazard placement. It's like, there's not as much symbolism in a massive area like this as what some of the smaller areas had. It's still there, but not as much. I don't know why that, because there was plenty of opportunity, if you really think about it, to hide a lot of things in that area. Where am I going? I've actually lost. Am I going down here? Am I? Is this? I'm probably going to miss a couple of environmental puzzles because it is hard to remember where they all are. So here's another one. I did find this in my blind run, basically. No. It's got to be Z, doesn't it? What? Come on. That's ridiculous. And we thank JB in the sky for treehouses. Yay! And I'm guessing. That's an easy one. And we thank JB in the sky for. Hey, that's a burnt tree. What do you think him? There you go, I didn't realise that. That's really burnt all the way down. Huh. I also noticed, like, a lot of the wood is basically from the actual tree houses themselves. It's like they use the tree houses in order to provide footing as well. And you've got your last. Oh, there's a. I nearly forgot that one. Damn it. Where is that one? Here we go. So I think that's there. Huh? There we go. Huh? Seriously? There we go. And I'd like to thank JB in the sky for providing walkways. Okay. And I think this is the last one. And then that's basically it. There's really no more other secrets that I could see. But if you find something, please let me know. I would love to hear from you.
These hearts were woven of human joys and cares, washed marvelously with sorrow, swift to mirth. The years had given them kindness. Dawn was theirs, and sunset, and the colors of the earth. These had seen movement and heard music, known slumber and waking, loved, gone proudly friended, felt the quick stir of wonder, sat alone, touched flowers and furs and cheeks. All this is ended. There are waters blown by changing winds to laughter, and lit by the rich skies all day. And after, frost, with a gesture, stays the waves that dance in wandering loveliness. He leaves a white, unbroken glory, a gathered radiance, a width, a shining peace under the night. Rupert Brooke. 1914.
Okay, so isn't a religious quote at all. This is actually from a poet. And he actually died, I think, shortly after 1914, from blood poisoning, I believe. And he's famous for his poetry. He was a soldier himself, I think naval from the top of my head. And he was famous for his poetry about the war. And again, this whole... so this is probably a naval vessel. And it's referring to... Rupert Brooke eventually was under the idea as a non-religious person that the worst enemy in his life was death, and yet at the same time his best friend was death. And this whole poetry he does is based on this concept. What you just heard was a complete poem called the War Sonnet number 4, The Dead. And basically starts off with, I think the first 3 lines are in reference to what their life was like before the war, what their life was like during, and again, no more the death and the memory. But it puts it in a very positive type of light. So again, is looking at that. I guess this warring that's happening behind our existence and our need to find something in order to become better individuals, a needing for existence, a needing for a connection. And some people find greater calmness and solitude by not searching at all, where others, it is unthinkable not to. Maybe out of fear, maybe because they've just seen too much. But whatever the case, the idea is to become better individuals. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and join me next time as we go through the swamp to find all the secrets there. Until then, bye for now.